What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video. So today we are taking a look at the Bohemian Cello by Virharmonic. This is the follow-up to the last week's video where we took a look at Bohemian Violin. So it's really interesting because the functionality is pretty much identical between both, which is really great. For example, if you have a specific workflow that you'd like to follow, you're used to one of these libraries and you want to easily get up and running with the other, this makes it super easy, okay? And the interface is very, very similar, slightly different color palette, which is, again, a great differentiator between those libraries. But overall, if you need to copy MIDI regions, if you need a similar workflow, right off the bat, this is a great choice to go with. So let me just dive into the library. We kind of already talked about how the library works. So I just want to start playing a little bit. I'll go through the different modes, and then, we'll do the giveaway at the very end. So again, big thanks to Virharmonic for sharing a copy of this library for me to take a look at, and as well for a giveaway at the very end. So here is the improv mode, and here we go. Okay, really quickly before we touch the emotive setting, I just want to point out that by default, the auto rebow is triggered. So that just means that, here, let me turn off the lasting bow for a second. Auto rebow just means if you're playing a single note, then the engine will naturally rebow, right? So it goes from down bow to up bow, back to down bow, and it infinitely holds the note as long as you're triggering the note and holding it down. If you can also override this by clicking lasting bow. So this will override the auto rebow, and basically it just does not trigger the rebow. So if I play a passage and then hold a last note, then the note will naturally decay by itself. Another way to override the auto rebow is to rebow the note yourself. So if I play the same passage, but then I re-trigger the last note myself, then it will naturally fade away as well. Right, and then you can see that it triggers off. So yeah, that's a kind of a cool little thing there. I personally like having the lasting bow activated because I don't necessarily want the auto rebow. If I want a rebow, then I'm going to want to rebow myself. I just don't want the rebow happening in a place in a phrase where it sounds unmusical and it just doesn't really fit the timing, right? So lasting rebow for me, I always keep on the key switch here is F#6. Naturally, all these or most of these key switches are a little bit higher because the cello has a lower range. So yeah, they can fit more of the key switches on the higher notes. And of course, we have the typical articulations. Let's go through some of these. Okay, now let's hear some of these legato types. So again, we have quarter legato, which is the fastest type of legato, usually like finger legato. Then we have half legato, which is a bit longer. Whole legato is more that slurred legato. Then we have bow change legato and portamento. So let's quickly touch on these. Here's the quarter legato. Right. So I actually think the half note legato is probably the most versatile out of those three, like quarter, half, and whole legato. Because the quarter legato has a more deliberate sound to it, right? Those transitions are a bit more fingered, they're a little bit more agile and energetic. So the half note legato feels a bit more well-rounded. And of course, the whole legato is not applicable for everything, only really when you want more of those slurs, right? And then really quick, let's just hear these extended articulations. So there's one for basically run and trill. So if you want to play really fast. Then we have ponticello. Saltasto. And some harmonics. Okay, but yeah, most of the time I'm probably going to be sticking with the regular legato, and that is basically the core functionality there. So let's take a quick look at the emotive mood, and then we'll move on to assertive, classical, and sprightly. So here's the emotive. I'm just going to turn on the lasting bow here, because with it off, you can hear how the auto rebow kind of triggers really quickly after I play the last note, and that kind of breaks that phrase. So with the lasting bow, now we're not going to hear a rebow, and the last note should tail off very naturally. Okay, then we have the classical mode. Yeah, and of course, if you want to craft realistic phrases, it's probably a good idea to integrate more of these articulations in there, some shorts, some longs and stuff. But what's really cool for the sprightly mode is that the attack of each note has a spiccato overlay. So you're naturally going to get more of that bite at the beginning of each note, kind of similar to assertive, but assertive has more of that fast legato stuff and is really good for those fast, more marcato energetic passages in general. So in general, the sound to me is a little creamier, slightly darker compared to the violin, which I really do appreciate, because the cello has such a vast range to it in terms of the sound and the way it kind of is recorded. You can hear some of the brightness in there for sure, but the overall sound signature is slightly darker. And so to me, that makes it more applicable for a lot more situations as well. Because if I want it brighter, I can always just, tweak the EQ a little bit. I can always maybe push it a little further up in the mix or something like that. But having the sound signature where it's not overly dark but not overly bright has a very nice neutral middle ground, which I really do appreciate. And also the sound itself is just really, really gorgeous. Very, very sweet, very responsive again, very passionate without being overly so. I think the cello has a slightly better middle ground in terms of the emotion compared to the violin, which is ultra expressive. I think the cello is slightly more restrained, but is still quite emotional and active when need be. So hopefully that gave you a bit of an overview again of the cello. Let me know if you have any questions about it. I'll do my best to answer there. But as usual, let's get into the giveaway. So again, big thanks to Virharmonic. First of all, make sure you fill out the form below in the description, then you can be entered into the system. And again, I'll reach out in a couple of days to let you know who the winner is, but make sure you fill out that form to be entered. Number 2, just leave a comment under this video letting me know what you would use the library for. I'd love to know. And number 3, just leave a like on the video. It always helps, and it's the last thing you just got to do to enter into the giveaway. So thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next video. Big thanks again to Virharmonic. Really, really excited to see how the viola turns out. At the time of this recording, it hasn't been released yet, so I'm super excited, and I'll be sure, hopefully, to show you a video on that as well when it's out. So take care. I'll see you soon, and bye-bye.